In a recent video, we talked about how Georgia edge defender Nolan Smith has visited with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, there is yet another edge rusher that we need to talk about, and is Northwestern defensive lineman Adetomiwa Adebawore. I don't even know if I'm saying that last name right. I'm probably not, but he did have a top 30 visit with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers recently. And, Adetomiwa is a beast. He did some phenomenal stuff both at the Senior Bowl and at the Combine. I was there for both of those events, and I came away very, very impressed. A 4.49 40-yard dash, a 37.5 vertical jump, and a 10-foot 5-inch broad jump. He is a player who has massive potential at the next level due to his versatility. I'll talk about that in a moment, but again, a 4.49 40-yard dash. This man is 6'2", 282 pounds. A man of that size should not be able to run a 4.49 40-yard dash. That's almost as fast as Devin White. That's crazy. And it just goes to show the pure athleticism that this young man has in Adetomiwa. I mean, this dude is electric. Now, he has been compared to Rasheem Green by Kyle Krabs of the Draft Network, and that's completely understandable to see why. I think that whenever you look at the versatility there, that is something that needs to be considered. He is a guy that can do so many different types of things for you. And I know I talked about this in the Nolan Smith video, but if you're Todd Bowles, you've really got to be having a keen eye on that versatility. You look at the size, he can play on the defensive line. He is so fast and athletic that you could probably play him at edge as well. There are so many different types of things that you can do, so many different types of pressures that you can send in different ways. I think that you can put his hand in the dirt. He's fast enough to where you can play him at edge, and that matters. That matters in a defense that Todd Bowles runs, where there's so many different types of ways to send pressure. There's so many different types of ways to send out guys. Heck, we've even seen Vita Vea play defensive end before. The Bucs like to use exotic fronts, and I think that whenever you look at Adetomiwa here, he's one of the most exotic players defensively in this entire draft, and that certainly matters whenever you look at scheme fit specifically for Todd Bowles. Now, as it stands right now, Adetomiwa is projected as a late first-round talent in most mock drafts. I don't think it is going to be remotely close to a possibility that he would be available for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the second round. And whenever you look at their pick, this is one of those selections that certainly makes a lot of sense. In the case of Nolan Smith, as I talked about, it just seems like there is a chance he will not be available. Adetomiwa, I've seen some mock drafts take him before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make their selection. I've seen some mock drafts take him after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make their selection. And I think that this is going to be a legitimate consideration if he is on that board. I think that whenever you look at that versatility, you look at what the Buccaneers have done in terms of their front seven right now. They lost Akeem Hicks in free agency. Will Golston is still out there as well in free agency. Yes, they did add Greg Gaines. I think he is a very solid player in his own right. You have Logan Hall, who you want to see step up as a second-year player in this Todd Bowles defense. He was a second-round draft pick as well. You have Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. You have Shaq Barrett recovering from his injury. You have Anthony Nelson, who you've brought back. You've got some pieces there, but I think adding a versatile guy is so important, right? A guy who you can put at D-end, a guy who you can put at edge defender if you need him to. Heck, if he bulks up a little bit more, 282, you could even possibly play him as at inside in certain situations if you want to go with a four-man defensive line front. Him and Vita Vea next to each other, I think would be a pretty deadly combination. If Vita Vea is eating up a double team, I think that Adetomiwa has got that athleticism and ability to win one-on-ones pretty darn well and create a lot of havoc. And I think that's what the Buccaneers would look to do if they did draft this young man out of Northwestern with their first-round pick. And I think that would be the consideration there. I don't think he's going to be a guy that you can get in round 2 if you are the Bucs. I think that he would have to be considered in round 1. I've talked about it before. Yes, the Buccaneers need an offensive tackle. Yes, they need a safety. But I do think that there is a legitimate need there. You could make an argument for needing some edge help, needing some pass rush help as well. And the Buccaneers are doing their due diligence on some of the more exotic, versatile pass rushers that are available right now in Nolan Smith and in Adetomiwa, and we'll see if they ultimately make the decision to draft one of those guys with their first round pick. But again, much like in the case of Nolan Smith, this is a pick that I'd be a huge fan of. I loved Adetomiwa in the Senior Bowl. I thought that he was phenomenal. I loved him at the Combine. I think he's a really, really good player with a load of upside and potential, and I would not mind him at all in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.